Hello, Blood Bowl fans. We're having a Wood Wars, which we haven't had in a long old while. I don't want to say unfortunately, but it is a little bit unfortunate that we are playing a coach that we've played a couple of times in this series. We're up against Undo again. I love playing Undo, but I want to see some new faces at the same time. That is what Wood Wars are for. I may actually change the Fresh Blood title to just apply to anybody who hasn't already been on Wood Wars, which is quite a few coaches, but still. I'm playing my High Elf team. I'm playing my High Elf team a Blitzer down still, because the Blitzer died in the last game against our physicist with the Wooden Elves. And the Wooden Elves are singing something, but I really don't understand Elvish, so can't really say exactly what the song is. What I can say though is that they all have really cool hats. And we're up against a Wood Elf team, which is a nightmare for me because I am not an Elf coach, and Undo is an Elf coach, and this is a really bad idea, but we're going to try it and see how it goes. And the Wood Elves are singing Roots, Glorious Roots. And they're not talking about their dyed hair, funnily enough. Coin flip then. And the coin flip went the way of the High Elves. I just played the game, so I remember. And the coin flip went the way of the High Elves, and we chose to receive, because I thought we'd probably have more players in offense if we receive. I did let it roll for a long time before I decided whether to attack or defend though. But attacking seemed more logical with these two teams. So Undo is setting up in a pretty defensive but very centralized manner. He's doing an elf screen, but not really, because there's not enough gap between the players. And the tree, along with two linemen of course, are on the line. I do have a loner, I just put the loner on the line, he is here. And of course there are two other linemen standing as well. And I've gone for a kind of arrow. I don't really know what I'm thinking, I'm hoping to keep hold of the ball mostly here. And I'm going to try and get off the tree. The Wood Elves get an extra reroll to start off with, which is not good news. On the plus side though, for the Wood Elves, so again on the negative side, that is a horrific kick for me. Really, really bad. Not what I want to see at all, so I'm going to have to screen off that ball as well as possible now, and we're not moving it anywhere for a couple of turns, that's for certain. I am going to focus a little bit on hurting Wood Elves, because Wood Elves have a lot less armor value than, well, they have a bit less armor value than me, so I am going to do a little bit of fighting against the Wood Elves, while keeping my High Elves as much out of the thick of it as possible when it comes to retaliation. But in order to have a fight, I'm going to have to base a couple of Wood Elves, and elf on elf action sounds like something that you definitely shouldn't Google, but it does sound like it's going to lead to some really big pain for at least one of the two teams. And I'm hoping the Wood Elves. The war of attrition should go my way, so I am playing a kind of aggressive Wood Elf team at the moment. And I've had to make this very aggressive, straightforward line just in order to secure the ball. I would not normally put all my players in an Elf team so clumped up together. But it's just because of where the ball landed, kind of dictated the way that I had to play this. And I can imagine that Undo's going to be playing a I'm going to score one more touchdown than you kind of game. And we've already got our first leap, and it's already a failure. But the reroll, which wasn't really necessary, made it a success. So we're putting the ball down in the first turn. He's got to capitalise on that now though. That's the one problem we're using the reroll there. He's going to have to get hold of the ball. And the ball does not scatter well for him to do so. But Wood Elves are disgusting, and immediately the ball is in the hands of the Wood Elf catcher. And we're going to do a pass as well. And it's inaccurate, but the ball is on the side of the pitch I really don't want it to be on. So well done, Undo there. That was really well conceived. Now, I'm taking this block first because I want to move all these pieces in this direction. So it's just a way of freeing them up, basically. And I'm actually doing that quite a lot this match, taking blocks before I would normally. But again, it's all about fighting the good fight and getting as many pieces over here as possible. I want to actually lock up the ball, if I can. Should have followed here. Don't think I did though. And I didn't. Really should have followed because he's in the way where he is. But I did get an injury out of it, which is good news. So we are one man up already. But against Wood Elves, I always need the ball in my hands. And by not following, I actually really screwed this up, because the idea was to put everything through that gap, and now that gap isn't there, so all I can do is screen off, and I don't want to screen off, I want to stop the ball. So that was poor, un-elfman-like behaviour. Though I have created the screen now at least. But of course Wood Elves are one of the champions of passing, so it's going to cause a problem if I can't get a piece on the ball. The only way I can do it now is dodge out this piece, which I do. And I'm going to dodge off the tree as well, because it's a tree. But fail. No reroll though. No need. Not the best defense. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 Wood Elves free, which is 4 too many. 5, sorry, there's one hiding behind the tree as well. And I've got a couple of High Elves out of position, and a High Elf on the floor where he really should be standing. So, not the best end to the defensive setup there. But still, let's watch Undo capitalize on that. And capitalize on that he will. He's going to lock up the ball first, though there's a good chance he's going to move it this turn, because he has the pieces to do so. And the tree takes root. That's good news for me. That's really good news for me, actually. But I think Undo is going to go for an early score, because it's my drive, so why not? And he doesn't even bother putting that High Elf down. He just does what Wood Elves do, and he takes the ball and runs away with it. Giving it to the catcher, giving it to the Wood Elf, and Wood Elf can score already. So, that's a good start. And he doesn't have to score even, he can actually stall for one turn. So he probably will. I don't think he can score actually, I think the furthest he can get is here. Yes it is. So we are going to stall for one turn. I can't get there though. Well, I can get there, but it's dodgy to get there. I need to GFI with a lineman, or GFI with a catcher, either way. And I'm going to have to put both on the War Dancer to really lock him up. So let's move some things first. And even if it does go wrong, at the very least I'm going to force him to score. So I get a chance to counter this turn, this drive. I keep saying turn recently, not good. And I'm probably going to take some punches as well, because we're High Elves and we can. And because High Elves are secretly bastards. It's not really a secret, is it? Anyway, we are going to hit the War Dancer first, and we will re-roll a bad roll. Like that. That's not much better though. War Dancer can get out of that pretty easily, but, well, we've locked him up at least. And if he does fail, we can secure the ball. Now we're just going to do a little bit of damage, hopefully, with this piece here. No damage, but it will do. Pretty easy for the Wood Elf to get out of here. He's going to blitz his way out, which is the best way of doing it. Push is good enough, just run it straight in. 1-0. Well done, Undo. So that's a bad start for the High Elves. We're already 1-0 down, and it's turn 3 or whatever it is. And we're going to have to score quickly in order to retaliate, so... we're both going to be playing. I'm going to score one more touchdown in the new game, I guess, then. But at least we've got one player up now, so the attrition is working, but working slowly. I'm still trying to avoid the tree as much as possible. I've only actually been stood on it for one turn so far, so that's a good start. I'll be doing alright with that so far. I'm going to set up a little bit forward so I can score in 2 turns. Even though scoring in 2 turns means that Undo can score again, he's going to be under pressure to do it, and he's going to have to take quite a lot of dice to do it, so at the very least I hope I'm going to waste his reroll. And end the drive 1-1 is the goal, otherwise we're going to try and end the drive 2-2. And I'm not really an elf specialist, so everything I do is probably stupid as an elf coach, but we're still giving it a go, and I'm trying to get better. And stun certainly helps. Wood Elves are squishy. They're also very fast though. Wood Elves is also the team that Undo is playing in Luck of the Dice, which is interesting. And I re-roll that. I'm not sure I actually have to, but if I don't, I'm going to be in a position where the Wood Elves can reposition more sensibly. And I haven't really quite decided where I'm putting the ball yet, that's why I'm leaving these 3 pieces loose. Now I can decide which way I'm going. And I should be going this way, but I don't think I am going this way. Okay, I am. So good. And this guy's going to come over and support as well, and hopefully the ball is going to end here. Or at the very least, here. Sorry, here, or at the very least here. But we fail to pick up anyway. So, well done, thrower. What is thrower's name again? I forget. I think it's Noah? It is indeed Noah. So, Noah screwed up. And undo starts with the tree, which is an interesting move. And follows, which is also an interesting move. Meaning that the two pieces that were locked up is now one piece locked up. So good news for me. And the catcher is actually already in perfect position to score. And our loner is KO'd. Oh dear. And the loner actually has SPP. He's got 2 SPP from the injury, so there's a small chance I'm going to be buying this loner. If he gets MVP, I'm going to have to think about it. I would like to buy the Apo at the end of the game, because I don't have an Apo on the team yet. But I may be forced to buy the loner guy instead. But there's a small chance he's going to get MVP, so we don't have to worry about that just yet. Oi. Wow, that's painful. That puts undo down 2 pieces, which helps me a little bit. Helps me a lot, actually, not a little bit, because we are elfing it off. Which sounds something really dirty, but I just mean that we're having an elf off. Ha 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 ha. And they should be creating security, but of course the main goal is pick up the ball and score this turn. I don't want to leave it one more turn, that's for certain. And the reason I want to score basically is because they're in a position to threaten me, so I kind of have to score, I don't have much of a choice. Don't really need to put the war dancer down, but I'm deciding I'm going to. I do have to double GFI in order to score those, so I'm kind of minimizing risk, I guess. Though I should have stood up at least one of these 2 pieces too, especially as this is a very hard throw. It's a very hard throw, but I'm an elf, so what am I scared about? The throw succeeds. Now just double GFI to score. Success. 1-all. Yeah. Well, if I get my KO back, then we're going to be up numbers by 2. If I don't get my KO back, then by 1, so not a big deal. And KO does come back. Welcome back, Lona. Undo's 2 injuries stay out, of course. So we are now 11 against 9, and Wood Elves are on attack with 4 turns, which is a good number of turns. If he scores within 2, I can still return score, and if I can hold him, then I will. And by playing the attrition game against Wood Elves, I am forcing them to score quickly, because it's the only thing they really have as an offensive measure against me. So that's why I'm playing the way I am, but not really an elf coach. So an elf coach may well tell me that I'm doing everything wrong this game, and that ball means that he's going to have to attack anyway. He doesn't have a choice now for certain. And if there are any elf coaches watching, by the way, please do leave comments below, because I don't feel like I'm qualified to really talk about elfing. To talk about elfing Blood Bowl. Hehe. So, if there are any elf coaches watching, please by all means do put comments below. What could have been better? What kind of thing I should be doing against Wood Elves? Blah blah blah. Anything basically. Anything you want to say. That goes for every game, by the way. If you want to leave comments, you can. I don't usually ask for them, but by all means leave them. This setup, for example, I can already see it's a mistake because I've left a big gap here. Yes, that much I know, but I kind of did that on purpose at the same time. I kind of want him in this area, but with Wood Elves it's always a risk, letting them have any space at all, of course. But at the same time as well, I do want him to score quickly so I can return score if necessary. And some lovely dodging onto the catcher. Leads to a push, which is good. And no follow, of course. We're going to see the ball move into one of these 2 hands, I guess, though. One of these 3 hands, sorry. Well, maybe it'll stay where it is. It's better there. Oh, GFI fails. Oh, GFI fails twice. That is good news. And just a stun, but that's good. That means we can clean up the ball. Maybe even score. Not this turn, of course, but set up for a score, I mean. Because his entire team is here, and my entire team is here. So we're going to try and secure the ball here, but also make some security. Oh, I make a mistake here. Why am I picking a fight with a tree? Oh, no. In-game, this kind of made sense. I wanted the tree down, but when I'm looking at this now, oh, no. All these pieces should be going over here somewhere. The idea is to get the ball here and run him up that way, but he's going to be on his own, so yeah, waste of 5 players there. Well done, Aaron. And the blitz is going to make a small gap, which we don't really need. And thrower hopefully is going to pick up the ball and pass to this piece here. Oh, failed to dodge. And we're not re-rolling. Probably should have re-rolled. And KO means that we definitely should have re-rolled. Not really sure why I didn't re-roll. There was a reason in my head when I was playing, but I don't know what that reason is anymore. That turn was awful. What should have happened here is this elf should have gone out, definitely. This elf should have threatened. We should have re-rolled the pickup, and we should have ignored the tree completely. Maybe even dodged a piece off the tree, not put more pieces on for certain. So that was all-round bad play on my part. I'm kind of gifting the Wood Elves a score here as well by doing that. So I don't know what I was thinking that turn at all. And now of course the tree is standing back up and I've got 5 pieces stuck on him. There was a good chance the tree wasn't standing up. That was the main purpose of putting the tree down, but still. It's not too hard a roll. And we're probably going to see a score here. Undo should really try and stall, but it's not safe to stall, so he's probably just going to go straight for the score. And he does. That's good news for me. It gives me 2 turns to make it 2-2 by halftime, which I'm going to try and take, of course. So I'm glad he scored, actually, off the back of my mistake, because if he hadn't scored, I would have been in a lot of trouble there. But he kind of let me recover from the mistake of putting 5 pieces on the tree. And 1 knockout returns, 1 stays out, so we are 10 against 9. Now we're going to put a lot of pieces on the line here, and we're going to threaten this side, because he has less pieces over here. He still has less pieces over here, not a big deal. We're going to try and make a kind of half screen here with the catchers. That's going to be the main idea. There's only 1 catcher actually, sorry, the other catcher is knocked out. So with the catcher, and we may even bring these pieces over as well. Now we'll threaten both flanks at once. That's fair, basically keeping these 2 out of position, hopefully. And standing off the tree completely, because we don't want anything standing on the tree. The only goal here is get over the line. So we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that happens. Now we've got 4 numbers here, so we're going this way. But these guys are just going to lock up these 2 pieces as best they can. War dancers, of course, can leap out, do all kinds of magic, but they've got a roll to do it, so I am going to lock them up. But you can't really lock up a leaping piece, because they can leap, funnily enough. And we'd normally blitz the blitzer, of course, but I need the blitz on this side. The blitzer should have been on this side, realistically. Don't know why he's not. But he's not, so we're dealing with it. Pickup is good. Let's get the ball there so the catcher can start his run into no safety at all, but into a position where he can score next turn. That will do. No, that was better. And failing a dodge, we're re-rolling that because we need him to help with the screen. And this guy's dodging out to screen this side as well. Okay, it looked awful, but now it looks a bit better. A bit better. Now we need to do some more dance lippy stuff. And there it is. Should have blitzed though. I think that was a mistake. I'm sure that was a mistake, no think. Meaning that he has to leap both pieces, which is risky. But it works. And skull doesn't work. Ow, and double skull. That's bad luck. I don't think I'm going to do anything crazy here. I think I'm just dodging out and scoring. I've still got the reroll. No, I haven't. I've used the reroll. Oh well, I'm still dodging out and scoring anyway. There is a GFI there as well, but it was good enough, making us 2-2 going into half-time. This has been an insane drive. But we have Wood Elf turn 8 left, and we get one more chance at KO returning now, which is good news for us. Really good news for us, actually. Especially, of course, if it works, which it does. Oh, I did buy a Babe before the match as well, because there is a TV difference. There was a TV difference of, I think it was 70,000 with the loaner. And we're going to set up in a way that counteracts a riot, counteracts any kind of Wood Elf bullshit, basically, by not leaving any gaps. Though, by making this setup, it does mean that the Wood Elves can attempt a one-turn touchdown, which Undo is going to try. I'm not a one-turn touchdown expert at all, so other thing, if there's somebody watching these videos and they're very good at one-turn touchdowns, then explain what's going right, what's going wrong with people who do attempt these, even when I attempt them myself. I've never actually succeeded at a one-turn touchdown, and I haven't seen a successful one against me, so there is that. And the Woodies get a reroll, which could potentially help them. And we're starting with a leap. Whoops, that failed. Reroll. Good thing he has that reroll. Oh, it doesn't help. That's a shame. Well, that was a good one-turn touchdown attempt. I applaud it. But, yeah, that failed, unfortunately. And we're on to half-time. Half-time, we're going in with the same numbers. My 11, Wood Elves 9. So, second half then. Are we going to see as many touchdowns? This game is true to a high elf off. We're getting a lot of bad dodging, bad leaping, etc., and we're scoring a lot. So, and we're passing a lot. So it's a fun game as elves, I think. This is how elf ball should look, basically. So, this time I get the reroll. Which is pretty scary for the Wood Elves, because that gives me 3 against their 1. And I guess he started with a tree, that's why he has 1 reroll as opposed to 2. Which is not a great idea. Especially in a ladder. Well, no, actually in a ladder it makes more sense. Okay, but it's not a good idea, anyway. Tree should come later in a Wood Elf team, I think. And we're already doing crazy passy stuff. Undo specials are coming early this round. And I'm running the ball out of the way. Fair enough. I'm not going to worry about the ball so much this turn then, I'm going to worry about doing some damage to Wood Elves. By doing damage to Wood Elves means I have numbers when I have to inevitably counterattack, because there is going to be a score for Wood Elves. There's no real way of stopping it. Wood Elves are disgusting like that, they can score in the most disgusting positions. So, that's going to come, I have no doubt. And I'm not going to threaten too far forward, I'm going to try and keep some kind of structure to the team, making sure there aren't any huge gaps this time. Now I'm also going to put a little bit of pressure on the ball with my 2 catchers and this lineman. And the thrower should be coming over here as well. No, he shouldn't now. Now he should be coming here somewhere. But we're going to blitz with him. Okie doke. We've left the gap in the middle. Well done. And that's not the thrower, that's the blitzer. Right, yes. Okay. Well, we've only left a small gap and the tree is in the way anyway, so it's not so bad actually. It's not as bad as it originally looked. With the tree moving though, that's a pretty big gap. He can dodge through here nice and easily. 2+ dodge, no problem. However, the Wood Elves are quite happy to have the fight as well, which is it's quite a strange elf game. We're both fighting each other quite a lot here. to be fair to Undo, he is more a Dark Elf coach, and Dark Elves can kind of fight, and I actually think High Elves can fight quite successfully as well. That's why I do play a slightly fightier game than I would as a Wood Elf team, or as, for example, a Bretonnian team, because the armor value can actually stand up to attrition a little bit. Oh, and failed GFI. Yeah, there's something wrong with this guy's feet, I think. He keeps falling over. Poor catcher. Anyway, so let's secure the ball. That's goal number 1. He's given me a chance to counterattack. If I can, actually, I'll score right now. Or at least get the ball out of the way, not score necessarily. Not sure how easy that is to do, looking at this though. I don't think there's an easy way to do it, that's for certain. We can try with this piece. That's the only piece that can really pick up the ball. And if we can get the ball out there, then great. We're actually going to scatter the ball out. Well, I don't know. At the time I thought it was risky, and it proved to be even riskier than I originally thought. It wasn't really a good play, scattering onto the ball. I should have scattered off the ball and tried with this piece, like I said. As it is, the ball is in quite a risky position for me, because the War Dancer can get to it, and we've got 2 numbers on it as well, or 3 if it stays there for 2 turns. Now we fail a dodge off the tree, so leaving that alone and taking the stun. Taking the stun with a smile. Could be much worse. And this tree, he's having a hell of a game. He's causing me all kinds of problems. And now the Wood Elves are off the ball, and they can go and do things with it. They don't even have to try that hard. Undo is moving into a position where he can score next turn, not this turn, and do it relatively safely. The ball is going to go towards the War Dancer here. In front would be best. Like that. And this last piece can come around if he needs to. Yeah. Oh, fail dodge. Not sure where he was going there. I don't know why he was going into this area. Would have been better off down here somewhere, causing a screen, because I've got 2 pieces that can get there easily, and I've got 1 that can get there via a dodge, which I did first for some reason. I need to roll dice regardless, so I'm rolling the pieces that are safer to get through. Though, maybe should have moved these 2 first, realistically. Though by having these 2 here, it does mean that I can screen off the corners of the box. That's a pretty good roll. I have to GFI now though, but the KO helps because I can GFI directly onto the ball. And GFI onto the ball I do. We're knocking out the War Dancer as well, I hope. We're pushing him, gets us 1 more piece on the ball. This piece should be staying roughly where he is, and we should have this piece coming back. Though now it's difficult for him, so maybe we won't bother. No, we're bothering anyway. That's probably a reroll. Yes, it is. Just trying to stop this score, and next turn work off it, basically. Could have done it better maybe, but the ball is pretty locked up there. He can definitely get out. The War Dancer seems like a good choice for getting him out. If the War Dancer that's on the floor here knocks out the Blitzer, the ball has a slightly easier route through. The ball carrier has a slightly easier route through. And it looks like that is what Undo is attempting here. Well, if we push off this piece as well, out here, yeah, that's good. Now if we knock out the Blitzer, it's a pretty straightforward route out. And that is indeed what we're attempting. It's still, I think, 2 free pluses? No, it's 3 plus 2 plus, but good enough. And that's a very well designed score by Undo. I give him credit there, that was well played. I always give him credit, he's a good player, but, you know, give him credit where credit is due. That was well played. And having seen the orcs and the dwarves dancing in these videos, I'm really bored by the humans now doing the cheerleader stuff. Can't wait for Legendary now. There's actually a game going on between Sage and Knorr playing Legendary Edition together tomorrow, so if you haven't somehow seen that announcement, then by all means check that out. It's going to be interesting to see the actual game in action, see what it looks like. High kick for the High Elves. That's good. Thrower goes for it. And he has Butterfingers today. I think that's his third fail at a pickup/catch. I'm going to go for a quick score again here. I could be playing a slow score, but the Wood Elves are so fast, and Undo is playing in a very, very aggressive game, so I have to score every time he scores. That's the only way I can stay in this game. And I'm assuming this is basically what went wrong with the game with him and Top Hat, where the Dark Elves just weren't pushing as hard, because that was a 5-1 win for his Wood Elves in Luck of the Dice. Though anything could have happened, but I assume that's what basically went wrong. Because Undo is very aggressive as Wood Elves. And it's quite difficult to play against because you're constantly under pressure to attack. But my attack is going equally as well as his, so... yeah, Butterfingers again. Rerolling it, don't want the ball there. I do not want to be defending a ball so deep. Defending a ball in the opponent's half is much, much more comfortable for my High Elves. And this by no means is a safe position, but I have put him base to base with his friends, so even if Undo does loosen the ball, not like that though, even if Undo did loosen the ball, I would be able to clean it up. And that failed dodge is great news for me. It means that I can completely reposition. I'm probably still going to score this turn, but I'm going to see if I can put some pieces down and stall for a bit. And if I can do that, then I'm a happy, happy elf. Happy, happy elf. That does not suit me. No. But we're going to secure the ball first, just in case. And now we're going to try and put down some pieces. And if we have the chance, only if we have the chance, we will stall. If we don't, we will definitely score. It's a mistake I see Ook doing sometimes when he's playing against a fast team, where he does a similar thing, and when it goes wrong, that's the key thing, he doesn't actually score. So right now it's gone a bit wrong. We've got a War Dancer standing, and we've got a War Dancer standing, so I have no choice but to score. I would love to stall, but it's not a safe stall at all, so we go 3-3. That wasn't a slight against Doog, it's an example of a coach who does this kind of thing, and I was in the exact same situation there, and that's the difference. If you score, then you get rid of the threat. If you don't score, then you risk staying 3-2 down in this situation, 1-0 down, whatever the score is. And the Wood Elf stays knocked out. That's really good news for me. That means that Undo is an extra player down, so we are currently 11 against 8. I think we're 11. Yeah, we're 11 against 8. And High Elf kick to the Wood Elves, and a Wood Elf is having a rock thrown at his head. That's a shame. That's a real shame. That's a War Dancer, and he's not coming back. There is an Apo though. Maybe could have Apo'd that, to be honest, just to stay up numbers, but well, saving it just in case something worse happens, I guess. It was just a badly hurt, so... and it's a relatively friendly match, so not such a big deal. Suffering basic injuries. And he starts with a tree again. I think that's the second time he's activated the tree before doing anything else, which is always risky. But it's paid off for him twice. The tree's had a very good game, actually. And Undo continues his aggressive Wood Elf play. So, mostly I have to defend now, because I don't have time to actually score again. But with that failure, I can actually put pressure on Undo, and I'm going to. Charge, my High Elves, charge! So we're going to put pressure on the Wood Elves to respond, and as Undo doesn't have a reroll, I'm going to put a little bit of a gamble on here and really go for the ball. If the ball gets through, I'm screwed. If the ball doesn't get through, then I'm likely to win. So I'm playing to win here, as opposed to playing to keep hold of the draw. And I've got the numbers against the catcher. And I've got the one remaining War Dancer locked up, and I'm also going to lock up the catcher from the back of this blitz. Push is not good, it means I have to dodge, but I'm going to do it. There it is, and lock up the catcher. So now Undo has to make all of the rolls, and he has 5 players standing in a position where they can pick up the ball this turn. So the pressure is on for my good friend. And he does a smart thing and tries to get rid of the blitzer first. Push is a shame, means you're going to have to dodge to get the ball. I'm going to hit the catcher first though. Try and get him out of the way, I guess. And go for the ball. Oh, failed pickup. That's really bad news. All I need to do now then is put down this catcher and make sure the ball is in my hand at the end of the turn. I may even have to score. I think I do have to score actually, I don't have much of a choice, especially if the catcher stays standing. But we're going to do security first. Oh, hello. I've been invited to... Oh no, the All-Stars League has started. Cool. Good timing, All-Stars League. And we're going to use the catcher here. We'll get rid of this piece first, he's in the way a little bit. Then we can use the catcher to pick up the ball and run it straight in. That's the plan at least. It is a double GFI, and I've got away with too many of them this game. And yeah, this one I fail. I got a reroll though. And Snake Eyes. And a KO, just to rub it in a bit. Okay. Well, that gives the Wood Elves one more chance at score, though it is difficult for them. I don't think they can score actually. But they can get the ball out of the way. That much is certain. Yeah, catcher's going straight for the ball, of course. If we can get the ball down towards the War Dancer, doesn't even have to get to him, it's still making it hard for me to score. That is inaccurate. Straight into a high elf hand. Good pass. Well done. Oh, we are Butterfingers today, the whole team apparently. Well, I'm not going to do anything fancy here, just pick up the ball, go over here, pass, and hopefully score. Dodge and pick up a good. And pass. Oh, it's a hard one, but it works. That's really unlucky for Undo. A draw was maybe more fair, but we finished the game 4-3. Well done, High Elves. I still don't think I'm a very good High Elf coach, but maybe this game proves differently. I don't know, but I don't know. I made a few mistakes in that game. A couple of them cost me a bit. I came away with the win, but I'm not overly happy with the way I played. And I'm going to keep watching these Elf games back. I'm going to try and play a bit more Elf-ish stuff as well. Elf and Skaven, because they're the teams I'm the worst at, so I like to see a little bit more played. And for you guys, in the comments, this is the interesting part. I have a 7 SPP lineman here who is a loner. I don't have an apothecary in the team yet, and I have 100,000 gold off the back of this match. This player costs 70,000. If you were me in this situation, would you buy the player, or would you buy the apothecary and hope to buy the blitzer the game after? That's my question to you. Please tell me in the comments below. 4 touchdowns, 4 passes, 6 armor breaks for the Wooden Elves, and MVP to the loner, who I did buy, by the way, I'll tell you my answer now. And 3 touchdowns, 2 passes, 8 armor breaks, and a lineman got MVP here as well. There was a lot of SPP on both teams, and I actually got quite a few level ups. Let's have a look at the High Elf team now. I got a catcher who leveled and got dodge. I had a thrower who leveled and he didn't level. Never mind. I had a lineman who leveled, the scoring lineman, who was given block, so I have a second blitzer basically. And I have the lineman that I bought, he rolled doubles and he took guard. So that's how the team stands now, and I'm 20 away from the apothecary. Did I make the right decision? I don't know. I think yes, but I don't know. I think I'm still going to miss the apothecary next game. Anyway, that's it for this Wood Wars. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Undo, as my opponent. We always have a good laugh together, and That game was a pleasure, as always. See you all guys in Discord, on the pitch, etc. as soon as possible, and let's look forward to seeing some more league starts soon. Bye bye for now.